sometimes I'm not satisfied, so I over solder a little bit. You really shouldn't do this, but because then you have to remove it when you're working. So I'm going to get myself another piece of solder, a little fine piece of solder, a little one, and put it inside the ring. There, like that. And I'm going to melt that. Now you can take it over to the wheel now, and you've got to be very careful. You don't want to get rid of this pattern, you know, but the soldering messed up a little bit. It's there. So you take that side where you soldered it, and you go over to the wheel. So this was really a surprise today. I expected to have, these teachers are all from KPIS, and I'm really proud of them because they had a hell of a day. I think we actually started working around 11 o'clock, and now it's 20 to 6. Okay, and I told them it'll be about 2 hours, 3 hours. And I do that to everybody, and then I noticed, like, well, with the Germans, I noticed they were kind of pissed off at the end of the day. But they were happy, but pissed off. Anyhow, the question I have, Nina, since you have the other microphone, is, were there any surprises today to you about this whole situation and everything?
I think that it's all of the tools that we learned to use today was the most surprising, and all of the polishing, all of the shaping of the metal, and so that was, I think, the biggest surprise. Yeah.
And I just want to know what it was experience like for you. Is this the first time you've ever done anything like this?
Yes, I'm a first timer making jewelry today, and it was wonderful. I didn't know how that to do this with our hands, you know, the working with metal and making jewelry and things. So
Dominic, take her mic.
Sure.
So what was the most surprising thing about today?
I think also the tools, that all these tools actually have a purpose. They're not just for show, and like every little tool does something. And that's pretty mind-blowing. And then also the patterns that we used, putting patterns on the rings, and we could choose our little we could choose little patterns, and how we can customize our rings and form them just from a simple piece of like blank silver, and shaping it and everything. And there's just so many steps, so I can't even begin to understand how anyone could memorize all these steps and just do it by yourself independently and become an expert.
Dominic, what do you think this experience is like for KPIS kids as an elective?
Great experience.
I'm in jewelry class, and I'm primarily in the 9th and 10th grade level class. In this class, I learned how to solder, I learned how to pierce metal and cut them into shapes I want. I personally love like stacking metal and like layering on top of each other. This is my second piece. The first one I've made was a pendant, and the pendant was shaped as a triangle, and it was an upside down triangle. It had a moon and basically space inside, because I personally love that. I really like this class because I get to put my idea onto metal and like actually show it to other people, and I like to wear it. Currently, I'm working on a ring that I'm putting on 2 stars. It will be a 10-pointed star. On a ring.
You learn more about just being like neat and tidy, and also being very patient, and many different characteristics that are very important to know as a kid or a person, that they can don't burn yourself, listen to the teacher, like, put everything back where it's supposed to be. So there's just so much to learn. It's not just about making rings. It's more about
another amazing thing to me is, and I know this is what hooks each kid, is the scale of what they're working on.
Yeah.
They might be working on something for 3 months or 2 months,
Sure.
and it's only an inch across.
And it's very personalized too. It really means a lot to you as a person making it, because at the end, it's just so custom made. It's very special. The whole experience is so special. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're
you
really welcome.
made my day and holiday with this experience. Like no one could ever, achieve this much in such a short period of time.
You guys would all do me a favor if you wrote something favorable on go to our page on Blue Sky Cafe and just write a little note about I took the
Sure.
jewelry workshop and this was my experience.
Okay, good.
Marianus, what a beautiful name.
Here we go.
Oh my God! Now I'll always remember it.
There you go.
Marianus, what grade do you teach?
Grade 1.
Grade 1.
Yeah.
And do you have fun every day?
Yes.
So that's part of your job.
Yes, I have fun a lot.
Do you
with
have
them.
all this red tape to do where you have to write extensively about every child and their growth and psychological, their educational growth and all of that?
We have like do comment at the end of semesters,
Uh-huh.
but like I do keep a record on each child to see where they
What does your
are.
record look like? What do you do? What is the record like?
For me, I just have a spreadsheet, and then I have for the different subjects, and then I just have like
Oh, you
benchmarks
have characteristics and things.
yes,
that
behavior, characteristics,
Uh-huh.
Weaknesses, strengths, and then also helps me
Are
prepare
you a
them.
kind teacher?
I hope so.
Yeah. I think you are.
I think I am.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I was in the first grade and I was in your class. What?
He also teaches them how to eat properly, and if they've finished all their food, they come and show him the tray. Oh yeah, have you finished your food? And they show him, and then he goes, okay, you have to
They
eat
can learn
more.
so much at that age.
Yes,
He's
yes.
like a father figure too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
Yeah. Wait, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about your feeling. And this is a very intense workshop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look what's in here.
Yeah, there
How
were
did
a
you
lot
feel
of
when you
little
saw
steps
all of
today.
this?
I like tools because I grew up with my dad making a lot of stuff with his hands
Uh-huh.
and that, a little bit of carpentry and that, and he's a electrician by trade. So I actually really liked it, seeing all the hammers and the pliers and all of that.
And I happen to teach electronics and electricity as well. So,
Yeah, when you said that, that got me very excited
Yeah,
because
so
I like all that stuff.
I'm really delighted to hear that your father was in the trade, you know. What I wanted to ask you a question about what grade level you're at and what you teach.
I teach kindergarten, so like 5-year-olds.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be interesting because like,
Are you married? Do you have children?
no.
Oh, well, maybe you never will after this. So you love it? You love kindergarten?
Yeah, I love that age because you can see the changes so quickly
Mm-hmm.
in them when they develop, and 1 month to the next month can be a big leap.
Oh, I went into kindergarten so frightened.
Yeah.
You know, I had,
They can
and
be
my
scary,
kindergarten
those kids.
teacher, every night when I say my prayers, I go through everybody in the school system that affected me, and it's part of my prayers. And I had Mrs. Elsesser in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I remember her name.
I think kindergarten teachers that either forgotten very quickly, which is the sad thing because kids forget so quickly, or they're one of the ones that are remembered very fondly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember my art teacher, music teacher, homeroom teacher. I remember all through grammar school, you know,
cool.
and I had certain favorites. And I remember them by scene. So during the winter time, the trees were stripped of leaves. And I looked out at this barren set of trees. It was a beautiful elementary school, and all the trees had no leaves, and it was a gray, cold sky outside. So I remember that was this teacher's name. I remember daydreaming in her class, and she was teaching Western civilization or something. And I've just recently, when I started through the names of people I had in the grammar school, I remembered her name because I remember the scene out her window every day during the winter time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What was your highlight today?
I think the pattern making, because I love design. I've always loved design, but it was so difficult because dealing with metal, you kind of have to think what the end result is going to be and how to get there, especially with like stretching the ring as well. Changes the pattern a little bit. So it was very interesting to see what you think and what actually comes out at the end.
Actually, you chose a metal with quite thick. I mean, over 15 gauge, and your ring is like out of the Lord of the Rings. It really is. It looks like it came out of a movie. So it's pretty cool. Anything you want to add to what I'm saying here? Your experience? It went way over what I told you it might take. So how'd you feel about that? Were you getting a little angry or anxious or what?
No,
wanna go home?
It was good because we all finished and kind of helped each other. So I think that worked nicely. And then if there was one person that was maybe a little later, we just helped each other. We explained it to each other. So it was amazing how you just explained it once to us, and then we were all able to kind of work it out and help each other to work it out. So I think there was no frustrations there at all because we all had each other, and we're all like on the trying to help each other in that sense. And then of course you came in like Superman and just like took over certain like difficulties for us, or something that we were a little bit like intimidated by, but maybe like a few flames here and there with the bending, and if that's what you call it.
I was delighted with all of you. You're so receptive, and if this is any indication of Terapat International School on Soy Samsibha 35 in a place, a part of Bangkok called Ramintra. From here to get to school every day, I get up at 5 in the morning, and I get there at 7. I get there a little bit before 7, so that's why I always meet you in the morning.
Yeah, I always come say hi.
Nina, you go to school early too.
I try to.
Yeah, this is
We
great.
all try.
This was all great for me, and I've made some new friends too. So I'm really happy that I got to meet you guys. This was a surprise. I thought there was just going to be you and Nina.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And also the science part of this, like working with the different temperatures and stuff. So that's also something that was quite pleasing. For someone that really loves science, you could see like the different elements, how all of this actually work together. And yeah, so that was also like fun.
You actually learned about temper and the quality of metal by stressing it, what happens to it, and how you have to take the stress out in order to work with it, and you have to constantly do that as you work. You can all say goodbye, and thank you very much for coming. I very much appreciate it.
Yes, our ring.
Oh yeah.